All right, hi you guys, and welcome to our Rock the Box training. Just to make sure that you are understanding what this is for distributors only. So this is not something really for our customers, because what we want to do is, as distributors, we want to learn this so that we can then present it to our customers in the living room. So I'm Liz Simmons, and I have my happy helpers here today. They are going to be my actors playing the part of customers who have attended my nutrition workshop. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to teach you guys how you can have your own nutrition workshops in your own living room. Now, just to clarify, this is something that is going to happen at the kitchen table. Okay, so this isn't really a social media strategy. This is not something that you're going to be doing a lot of online stuff. This is a hands-on workshop. Okay, so this is going to be for any of your distributors on your team, for any preferred customers on your team, as well as your prospects, your friends and family that have not yet had a relationship with Advocare. In fact, what I have found is this has given me a whole new reason to reach out to people that maybe I didn't quite know, like I've built a relationship with them, but I didn't quite know how to bring up the Advocare conversation. And so this is a service that I'm able to provide for someone. So you know, as distributors, we always have our products, and sometimes for a prospect or for a friend, you know, when all they see is products that they have to purchase, it's hard for them to get their foot in the door. It's hard for them to take that first step. And so what this does is, you know, it puts the service in front of the product. So they are going to come and they're going to get a free nutrition workshop. As a matter of fact, I just invited someone today, a lady that I just met last week, and I was able to tell her, yeah, this is something where I'm going to teach you, you know, I'm going to equip you how to eat. You know, you're going to learn what proteins, carbs, and fats are. You're going to learn how your plate should look, and that's just going to help us reach our goals that much faster. And so something that we're going to do is we're going to weave Advocare products into our nutrition workshop, okay? And so, you know, we're not going to be manipulative. We're not going to say, come to my free nutrition workshop, and then we're going to lay Advocare on them. I mean, I definitely am going to tell them from the beginning, hey, you know, I'm an Advocare distributor. That's why I've got this big A right here. I'm going to, you know, give you a free nutrition workshop, but also I'm going to share some products that could help you reach your goals. And sometimes I'll even say, if I want to be less intimidating, I'll say, you know, no purchase is required to be able to get this free nutrition workshop. But I am going to be talking about Advocare products. So I'm not manipulating. I'm being very upfront with what they're coming to, but I just let them know there's no pressure. Okay, so do y'all have any questions as far as inviting or the concept of a nutrition workshop before we get into the meat of it?
How would you invite? Like, what would be the wording, since these people are so used to mixer inviting? What would be the new?
If I had my phone with me, I'd pull up what I said. So what I said is, hey, I wanted to invite you to a free, and I call it nutrition workshop. That kind of gives a pretty good idea of what it is. I want to invite you to a free nutrition workshop. This is something that is going to help you be empowered to, well, now I can't think of it off the spot, but
She'll post it later.
What I'll do is I'll post what I invited everyone to, but I'm using my phone. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is what I posted on our neighborhood page. We have a neighborhood group, and so that's a great way to be able to market. And so I said, hey, this Thursday I'm having a free nutrition workshop at my house, and I like that in my neighborhood because they know that it's going to be right here. That means I will be teaching in detail how to eat, how to get in the right nutrition in order to live a long, healthy life, and other things I said with lots of energy. I'll also share Advocare products that can fill in the nutritional gaps, but no purchase is required to attend. To keep it interactive, oh yeah, so I say this very strategically. I say to keep it interactive and personal, I max out at eight people. So, and so what I said is, if you are interested in attending, I have a few spots open, or you can get put on the waiting list. So we always want to make sure that they're chasing us. We don't want to seem so desperate, you know, and so I do max out at 8 people because my kitchen table will only hold 8, and I want it to be interactive. This is not something I want to do in my living room on the couch, because if you'll notice, even at mixers, people can get in the back and they can kind of just sit quiet in the back of a living room, right? You can get away with that. At the kitchen table, not so much. Everyone's involved, just like at a conference. If you have a conference at work and you're sitting at a conference table, it allows everyone to be interactive and involved and everyone's opinion to count. And so there's a quote that I'm going to butcher, but it says,
She's honest.
I know, but it says, tell me and I might remember, show me, tell me and I'll forget, show me and I might remember, involve me and I will be able to, I can't remember, and I'll never forget. Thank you. I should have had that prepared, but this is a way for people to be involved, and you're gonna see how I end up bringing in the Avocare products, because we are Avocare distributors. This is not, we're not only teaching on nutrition. We are for sure gonna show how Avocare products are gonna help you with that. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to have, and let me just say, if you really think that you're going to want to be doing these nutrition workshops, you need to take really good notes. That the whole reason I know all this is because I got to sit under a training with Jenny Donnelly, the creator of Nutrition Workshop. She's a double diamond Hall of Fame distributor in Advocare. And I took the best notes I could possibly take, and writing as fast as I could, because I wanted to make sure that I could duplicate this. And this is very duplicatable. It used to be that only personal trainers and nutritionists and dietitians could do something like this, and now this is a way to be able to duplicate that to your team. And so there is a kit. So all this food that you're seeing, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see if this is high def, but like that looks like a real piece of bread. It's crazy good. All this food is a nutritional kit that we purchased through NASCO. Now, please know, no one is making any money off of this. No distributor is making a profit off of this. We just use NASCO because they are the top of the line when it comes to replicas. They actually do replicas of all organs in the body for medical reasons, for pharmacies, for things like that. So they do amazing food replicas, and so that's why we've used this. It is not cheap. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. It's if you get the basic kit, it's $307 plus tax and shipping. I went ahead and purchased the add-on, and I'll show y'all what those are later, because I wanted the food that people are realistically eating. I mean, as much as we know that cantaloupe and oranges are good for us, is everyone eating that every day? Not necessarily. So we added on some of the more foods that we know the average American is eating on a daily basis, and we want to help them understand their portions and things like that. So that kit is available. I have heard it's on back order as of right now. In July, it's on back order, but you can get it purchased and get it to you as soon as it's possible. All right, okay, so here's how you will start. You're going to start by talking about the 4 pillars of nutrition, of your health. Okay, so if this box right here, by the way, this box I purchased at Michael's for $2.99, and so there is, the kit does come with the food and a couple other things, and then there's a few things that I purchased myself, and the max I spent on anything that I purchased was like $2.99. So, okay, so this box represents your health. And if we want to live a long, active, healthy lifestyle, and we're 80 years old and we're still running and gunning and still alert, then there's 4 things that we have to do right now to make sure that we live that long life, right? We all want to be super healthy and active later in life, and it starts now with 4 pillars. And so this is where I would ask my team. In fact, I'll ask them. So let me ask Alicia, because I think y'all have already heard this. So Alicia, do you know what would be one of the 4 pillars of health?
Sleeping?
Sleep. Okay, so this pillar represents sleep, and we're also throwing in stress management. Great job. We're also throwing in stress management with sleep. Okay, so that's one pillar. You guys, Dylan?
Good supplementation.
Yes, so we're calling this quality supplementation. Believe it or not, I would say this to my crowd, you guys know. But believe it or not, that is a very important part of our health, is being able to supplement what we don't always get from our diet. And then
exercise
and activity, being active in some way is an incredibly important part. And then the last one,
diet,
the food we eat, which we're going to talk in great detail about. So exercise, incredibly important. Activity, incredibly important. Sleep and lowering your stress life, very important. But what we are going to talk about the most today is quality supplementation and the food that you eat, and how important that is. Okay, so when you have those 4 things in place, regardless of what age you are, right now, if you keep those 4 things in place, then and this represents your life and your health and your body, then you are going to have a very balanced life, balanced, healthy body. Now, if we said to ourselves, and you guys, everything I'm saying right now, this is what you're going to say at your nutrition workshop. So if we said to ourselves, you know what, I work hard so I don't get a lot of sleep. 3 hours of sleep is all I can manage. And exercise, who has time for that, and how important is that really? My parents never exercised. And then a lot of people might say, I take a 1-a-day vitamin, that's good enough, right? And so we don't have that quality supplementation. And you're just thinking that your diet alone is going to work. So what's going to happen? You're not going to have a well-balanced life, clearly. You can't live off of that. It takes all 4 of these being in place in order to have your well-balanced life. So that's just going to give you a good foundation of understanding our health. So I'm going to set this to the side. So you guys that are taking notes, that's the number 1 thing that we're going to talk about. You don't want to spend a whole heck of a lot of time on that, because the food part of it, the workshop part of it, is what we want to spend the most time on. If you are someone who is crunched for time, maybe you're doing this during a lunch break at work, and you only have like 30 minutes, then what's gonna take up the most time is the interactive conversation. So the less interactive, the less time it'll be. This can go as long as an hour and a half. I would say try to keep it at an hour or less. And so what I told people for my nutrition workshop that I'm having on Thursday, I said it's from 7 to 8. And then I did add on there, I said if there's a lot of questions, it could go as late as 8:30, but we'll definitely be done by 8:30. I'm gonna try to keep it in an hour. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you guys, I'm sorry, write this at the top of your notes. Serve Spark when they walk in the door. That's no different than a mixer. You're gonna wanna serve Spark the second they walk in the door, maybe have a couple of different options. What do you guys like to serve as far as the most popular Sparks that a lot of people like to drink?
Fruit punch, always.
Fruit punch.
Yeah, grape is a high light flavor.
What's your favorite?
Great.
Okay, so fruit punch and grape. So my favorite is blue raspberry, so I'm gonna have blue raspberry and fruit punch. Those are what I find that are the most popular flavors. But you know, serve maybe your favorite plus fruit punch, because fruit punch tends to be the most sold. Okay, so that is the first thing. Let me get my notes that I took when Jenny was teaching this. And oh, I do want to say this. So this is what this nutrition workshop is, if you choose to start doing this, it gives you a really great explanation of what you do. When people ask, you know, whether they say, what is AdvoCare, or if they say, what do you do? Rob and I are full-time AdvoCare. That's what our job is, and Allie and Sean as well. They're full-time AdvoCare. And so even still at a high level, it's always a tough question when people say, what do you do? And it's like AdvoCare, and they don't know what that is. And I shared this the other night that it's funny because no one who worked at Home Depot would ever say, I do Home Depot. You know, that's just ridiculous. You would never say that. And so, you know, people who don't know what AdvoCare is, if you say, I do AdvoCare, then the conversation is already ended, because they're like, okay, they don't know what it means, and they walk away. So this could allow you to be able to say, what do you do for a living? Oh, I teach free nutritional workshops or nutrition workshops, and I sell products that help people with their health goals. And you don't have to be scared of the word sell. I mean, that's what we do, and that's what just about anyone in the world does, that their job is selling something, selling a product of some kind. So we don't have to be scared of the word sell. I teach free nutrition workshops, and I sell products that help people reach their goals in health. So I love that, and I'm going to start using that when people ask me what I do or what is AdvoCare. You know, I sell products that help people reach their goals. Okay, so we're going to explain the pillars of health. Oh, and then when you start your nutrition, make sure, just like I talked about in your invitation, you're going to say, and you guys know I'm an AdvoCare distributor, so as I teach you about the food, I'm going to be weaving in, and I like that word weaving, I'm going to be weaving in some of these AdvoCare products and show you how they can help you reach those goals even quicker and get even better results. Okay, next up, number 2. So that was number 1, is showing the pillars of health. This is number 2. This is showing the timeline of when to eat. And this is really important because, oh, and I did it wrong. Did I do it wrong? I did. No, I didn't. I did it right.
1 to 12, 1 to 12.
Okay, so here, someone hold that for me.
Is it?
I did do it wrong, didn't I?
Is it 1 to 12?
1 to 12, 1 to 12. Okay, so Yeah, we need to do it this way. Don't worry about that.
Technical difficulties, people.
So I guess I need to do it like that. Okay, you'll
Yeah.
hold it like that. So I had to figure that one out. Okay, so this is representing a clock, a full day from 1 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 in the afternoon to midnight. Okay, so when a baby is born, and this is what you're going to share, you know, when a baby is born, whether you had a child yourself or just when you were a baby, you would usually wake up about 6 a.m. Let's just say in a perfect world, this baby sleeps through the night. You wake up at 6 a.m. What time would you eat? And of course, and you can ask everybody, you know, what time would you eat, Dylan, when the baby wakes up at 6 a.m.?
Right after.
Right after. So we'd say about 6:01 the baby eats. Well, this was how we ate when we were a baby. We would wake up and immediately we were hungry and we would start eating. And then no one ever had to tell us. We just naturally knew, and your baby naturally knows 3 hours later you're hungry. And at 9 a.m. you're going to eat again. Again, it happens 12 p.m. you get hungry, you eat. 3 p.m. you get hungry, you eat. 6 p.m. and then a sixth meal at 9 p.m. the baby eats. And in a perfect world, the baby would go to sleep and would sleep through the night. Does that ever happen? Not much. So then somewhere along the way as adults, we said to ourselves, you know what? I just don't have time for breakfast in the morning. Whoever does that, and you have a lot of meetings in the morning, and so you skip that. And then what happens at noon? You are starving. You are so hungry, and so you start loading up on the biggest lunch you ever had, probably at a fast food restaurant full of fatty, greasy foods. Okay, so then you're so full from lunch and it's still sitting heavy in your stomach and you're trying to digest that you don't end up having an afternoon snack. You get home from dinner and life is crazy, trying to do homework with the kids, and you're trying to feed them and get them straight to bed, and so you just barely have anything for dinner. And what happens at 9 p.m.? You're so hungry. You have all these calories your body is dying to have, and you end up overeating. And so does this look like we have a balance of energy here? Absolutely not. Okay, so let's set this down for a second. So let me give you an understanding of what food is. I'll use an orange. Okay, so in one hand you're gonna grab a piece of food, and in the other hand, this is a 2-pound weight that I bought at Home Goods as you're about to check out. You know how Home Goods has all those things that you're like, I must have it. So I got this for about $2, a 2-pound weight at Home Goods. Okay, so you're gonna show food in one hand, and this is gonna represent using energy in the other, okay? What we are doing when we are putting food into our body is we are just giving ourselves energy. We need energy in order to live. So we put energy in and then we burn energy. And what we should have is a nice balance, like we talked about that baby. We should have a nice balance of putting energy in and burning energy, putting energy in and burning energy. So let's go back to your middle school days, and you guys write this down because this is what you're going to talk about, the calorie. Or whenever it was in school when we learned about a calorie. Do you guys remember what a calorie is? Alicia, do you remember what a calorie is?
Maybe macros.
Okay. Does anybody remember what a definition?
Can't remember the technical
Oh, it's like
definition.
the heat.
In which your body burns.
Mm-hmm. So a calorie is a measurement of heat. A measurement of heat or energy.
It's cheating.
All right.
I've heard that. I actually didn't remember.
Okay. Calorie is a measurement of heat. And so if you overeat, all right, so remember, we're getting that balance of energy. So if we end up getting too many calories in and we didn't burn it, what happens?
You gain weight.
So here's what happens, and you guys, this is going to come with your kit. This is a replica of 1 pound of fat. Okay, so if you get too much of the energy in that you don't burn, then you store energy, which is in fat, in the form of fat on your body. So what you're telling your body when you eat more than you burn is you're saying, okay, I'm gonna need this for later because I'm gonna burn it later. Your body just says, she's given me a whole bunch, so we need to store this. She must be planning on doing a major hard workout later. But if we don't, it just stores onto our body, okay? And in all those places that we don't want it. Now, 3,500 calories equals 1 pound. This right here is 1 pound of fat. So if I took in 3,500 extra calories of food, I'm using an orange, but truthfully, it's going to be cake. It's going to be all the
Mashed
things that we
potatoes.
should, mashed potatoes. I took in 3,500 more than I burned. How much weight did I just gain today?
Pound.
A pound. If I took in 3,500 calories that I didn't burn, I put a pound on my body. Okay, now let's reverse that. If I burned 3,500 extra calories, how much weight did I lose?
Lost a
I
pound.
lost a pound. Okay, and then let me give you one more little math that you can write down and you can share this with people. If you were to take in, remember we were eating cake and we were burning, if you were to take in 500 extra calories that you didn't burn every day, which would be easy to do, that's just, that's a part of a cheesecake, a slice of cheesecake at Cheesecake Factory. 500,
Ooh.
those are like 900 calories for a whole cheesecake.
Slice of cheesecake.
So if you took that in but you didn't burn that, if you did 500 extra calories every day for a whole year, do you know how much weight you gained? 52 pounds at the end of the year by taking in an extra 500 calories every day for a year. So these little bits of calories that we don't burn adds up. So let's go back to this. So let's go back to this thing right here. Flip it. So does this look like we have a well-balanced energy here? Does it in that morning, if we didn't eat anything, we didn't put any of that fuel in, calories are energy, we didn't put any calories in, we didn't put any energy in, we have a horrible balance right here, and we're overeating. So overeating is already making our body and our metabolism freak out. So we've got to learn to balance that back out. You want to take those calories of the day and spread them out as far as you can. And I'm going to teach you guys how to do that today. And that's what you're going to tell your customers that are at the table. You're just going to you're going to give them confidence. You're going to say, I'm going to teach you how to do that and give you the confidence how to do that. Okay, thank you. And this I got at Michael's for $3.99, a little ruler thing, and then these, they have tons of clips there. Okay, so now we're going to get into the training. So as you see here, I've got 3 categories. All food is made up of these 3 categories: protein, carbs, and fats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you guys to, we're going to see how well you know this. You're going to categorize these into these 3 categories. Now, before I do that, let me explain. We need all 3 of those, okay? So carbs are not bad. They are important. Fats are not bad. They're actually a very important part of our diet. And of course, protein. We all know we need protein. But this is important. So let me say it the way Jenny said it, because she said it really good. We need all 3 because our body doesn't function well if one is out of balance. Not only that, we find ourselves being hungry if those are out of balance because our body is still trying to get what it needs, and instead we keep feeding it more carbs when it's needing protein, and our body's saying, I'm hungry, and so sometimes we feed it the wrong thing. And so that's why I'm going to teach you guys today how to balance your diet and how to get that perfect blend and feed your body what it needs. So let me explain what carbs are. How do you say that?
Yeah.
Carbs are. What they are first. Carbs is a quick energy, and it's going to actually be about 50% of your diet. When you look at your plate and when you look at your whole day's plate, it's going to be about 50% of what you eat. So carbs are not bad. They're a quick energy, and that's why a lot of times when we are just drained and we're feeling like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm so hungry, the first thing we crave when we go into the pantry is what?
Cookies.
Cookies,
Chips.
Cheez-Its,
Chips.
chips, because our body knows that's a quick energy. As soon as I eat this, very quickly after, I'm going to have energy to keep going. And so that's why I have you guys drinking Spark today. So this is what you're going to say. So that's why I have y'all drinking Spark today, because this is a very fantastic way, a great source of quick energy, but it only has 15 calories. And it's going to make you feel amazing. It's got 20 vitamins and minerals. So good for you. So this is really a fantastic way to get that quick energy in. Okay, so do you see how I'm just going to weave the products in very beautifully, non-intimidating? Because you're building your case for products. So I'm sharing what the problem is, and then I build up that case of how Advocare products can really help. Okay. I want to make sure I don't skip anything since you guys are getting a full training. Another thing to understand about, burning energy and putting in energy is your body does not work according to what you did yesterday. It works according to what has happened in the moment. How much have you eaten in the moment? How much have you burned in the moment? Okay, so you can't tonight say, I can have a really big, fatty, greasy meal because yesterday I worked out so crazy hard and I'm still sore from it. No, yesterday you burned yesterday's calories. You can't base that off of yesterday's. Today, if you're gonna have a great big meal, that needs to be burned. So, and again, we don't want to overeat. We want to make sure we're really balancing out our meals. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my happy helpers see if they can categorize these into the correct categories. Now, this is not a good model because they are like nutrition nuts and they work out all the time and have a good understanding. But so as they try to start to sort these foods, I'll just tell you, people are going to get this crazy wrong. Okay, so unless you have y'all go ahead and start organizing. So we got fats over here, we've got carbs over here, and we've got protein over here. So people are going to get it wrong if they aren't already in the nutrition and personal training industry. Just let them get it wrong. Don't tell them what's right. I know right now you might be thinking, I don't even know what's right. Well, you're gonna eventually, I'm gonna teach you today what's right. And so don't stop them. Let them put everything where they think it belongs, and then we're gonna help correct it. Yeah, the baked potato has foil.
Is that a tablespoon or something? Like olive
This
oil?
is, in fact, I'll go ahead and show you guys while they're sorting. Let me show you what these are. Bravo. So this is butter.
Chicken.
This is Italian dressing. This is olive oil.
So here's that olive oil.
This is mustard.
Here's that olive oil, please.
That would be a cup.
This is salsa. We have broccoli. We have margarine. We have egg, lunch meat, chicken, beans, roast beef, hamburger, salmon, almonds, tilapia fish.
What is this?
We have pancakes. And all of this is going to come in y'all's kit. We have oatmeal, and I don't know if y'all can really see how realistic these things look. I mean, it's crazy good.
Spaghetti.
We have chocolate milk,
This is cool.
cookies, bread.
Chips.
Check out these chips. Does that not look like you could pick it up and eat it? Those are chips that are
Here's some queso.
replicas. We have, this is like kind of a Frosted Flakes kind of thing. We have a banana, pasta, blueberries. Start thinking about where you would organize these. Would you put these in proteins, carbs, or fats? And then we've got lots of fruits and vegetables, cantaloupe, peas.
Are these the same thing?
We have raisins. We have asparagus.
Made in Mexico.
And then over here we've got guacamole. We've got ice cream, pancakes, and olive oil. Okay, so let's see how they did. Do you have pancakes in the fats? Okay, so y'all did a lot of these wrong. And that's okay, because that's what people are gonna do, and you're gonna make them feel okay about it. So so here's what I'm gonna correct. So let's look at our protein. Yes, all of our meats and eggs are going to be in the proteins. This is correct. This actually is not correct. Although this may have some protein in it, these are actually going to go to, according to what it has the most of, what it predominantly is. So this is, almonds are fats. Can y'all see that? Those are almonds. So these are fats. Beans are actually going to go in the carbs, because there's more carbs than anything. Yogurt, if you guys pull your yogurt out of the fridge right now, you'll see it has more carbs than anything. Now, let me say something about yogurt. Yogurt, plain yogurt, actually, no, I'll share that with you later because that'll be important later. Okay, let's see what we got here. So I kind of had a trick question on here. Salsa and lettuce and mustard. If you go pull them out of your fridge and look at the ingredients and everything, these are all freebies because there's almost no protein, no carbs and fats in these. I think there might be the tiniest bit of carbs in these, but if you look at mustard, it's all zeros. So these are freebies, and these are really great things to add on to your food if you want to just have some free calories. And again, salsa if there's not a ton of sugar in it. Homemade salsa is the best. Okay, so let's see. So this is correct. Believe it or not, all your milk, your skim milk, your whole milk, and your chocolate milk, they all have carbs, more carbs than anything. It does have some fats and it does have some protein, but it's mostly carbs. So this is correct. All of your fruits and vegetables are going to be carbs. This is cream cheese. This actually goes in the fats. It has more fats than anything. So I'm going to move that over. Butter and margarine, these are your fats. So we're actually going to move these over here. Mayonnaise and Italian dressing is actually fats because that's oil and mayonnaise. So we got mashed potatoes, rice, brownies. We've got some grape jelly, oatmeal, cantaloupe. Yes, oranges, blueberries, those are all carbs. As you can see, we talked about 50% of your diet is carbs, and you can see it here on the table. That's a big bulk of it. Okay, let's move over to the fats and see if they did the fats right. So ice cream, although it can make you fat, it is not. It's mostly carbs, just like the milks and the yogurts. And then guacamole, that's correct. Pancake is a bread, so that's going to be a carb. And the rest of these are oils. You've got your olive oil, your cream cheese, your guacamole, your butter, your margarine, and your almonds. So all that, those are your fats, okay? So Rob, will you get a close-up of what the proteins are and then of the fats so they can see? Again, your proteins are all of your meat and eggs. Those are your fats, your proteins. And then these are your freebies, lettuce, salsa, and mustard. Great alternative to any dressings. And then, of course, all your carbs are fruits and vegetables, anything bread-like, rice, all that kind of stuff. And all of your milks and ice cream and yogurt, those are all carbs. And then over here is your fats, oils, mayo, guac, cream cheese. Okay. Okay, so now that you have an understanding of that, I'm going to pass out these. Now, this comes with your kit.
Liz, the last time we did it, you talked about the asparagus and
Yes, yeah. I'll go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to pull out a few of these. Asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots. What's the other one?
can't remember.
Peas. Is it peas? I've got it right here. Beets. Because, we all love our beets. Y'all eat beets every day, right? Okay, so look at this. Beets, cauliflower, broccoli, asparagus, and carrots, also freebies. These are non-starchy carbs. You can load these on your plate. If you find yourself getting extra hungry, you can load any of these onto your plate because it's very, very low in carbs. And it doesn't have protein or fats. So those are great freebies that I'm going to put on the freebie area. I need to make one of these. I might even make one of these that say freebies.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So, okay. Now, something, no, I'll do that in a second. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass out these to everyone. This comes in your kit, but it only comes with 50. So after 50, you would have to order more. Jenny Donnelly is creating a new one of these. Because this comes from NASCO, it is actually has some information about diabetics. So what we're going to do is you're going to fold this over, the part that says diabetics and carb counting. You're going to fold that over and you're going to tear that off, okay? So that this says right here. Okay, so I'm going to hand these to each one of you. Each one of you will get one. And y'all can actually flip it on the food side. And you're going to hand one of those to each one of your customers or guests. And I'm going to use mine right here. Okay, so first and foremost, y'all look at the top. This says, it says 1 carb choice is 15 grams of carbohydrates, okay? So if everyone will grab one of these carbs in your hand, choose whichever, actually choose 2 carbs. Whichever one you would like.
Banana and
Oh, the cheese, I'm sorry, the cheese didn't get moved. It's a fat. Because the cheese has more fat than anything.
Oh, together, the two best ones.
Okay, so go ahead and hold those in the palm of your hand. So what you are holding right now, look at that portion size, and you guys kind of check out the portion size. In fact, one of you hold the pancakes, because how many of us eat pancakes that are like that big, right?
Or
so
pasta.
this is the correct size that a pancake should be. What you are holding in your hand is the correct portion of carbs, and that is 15 grams. 1 palm is 15 grams of carbs, okay? So now what I want y'all to do, y'all can set those down. So now I want you to take it and turn it this way. Okay, and so as you can see at the top, it tells you how many carb choices it has. So here we go. We have 1 carb choice with 1 slice of bread. This is kind of a cheat sheet that people get to take home with them to help remind them what they learned tonight. Half a cup of oatmeal is 1 carb choice, and so you're gonna see how many carb choices. Now we've got our starchies, and then we've got our non-starchies. These are the ones I pulled out: the asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, beets, and carrots. Those are your freebies, so your non-starchies. And then it shows you, it shows you exact portion sizes. Okay, so that'll be a really great cheat sheet for them. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you guys flip it over onto this side. And I'm gonna start teaching you how many you should have according to your body. All right, so if you're taking notes, take really good notes on this part. So an average female should have 10 palms. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll say, hey, you guys pick up your palm and look at your palm. Your palm is right for your body, okay? So a larger man is probably gonna have a larger palm. And so Bob Donnelly actually said, dang my petite hands. So funny. Okay, I didn't think as funny as I did. Sorry.
It's because your husband's making us laugh.
Actors, you're supposed to laugh.
Cue, we didn't get the cue.
All right, okay. So the average female, which oftentimes that's who we help the most. If you kind of look at your customers, I think we would probably have the average female more than anyone. So the average female, 10 palms of carbs every day. For your whole day, you can have 10 palms of carbs. And remember, 1 palm of carbs is 15 grams. So 10 palms times 15 grams, how many grams of carbs can we have?
150.
150. So the average female can have 150 grams of carbs in one day, okay? And should have, okay? So should have. And this is a guesstimate, all right? Because obviously you can say the average woman, and an average woman might not look like the next average woman. So this is a very approximation. If you were to go to an actual dietitian for your body, they might give you very exact stuff. So 10 palms is a very approximation. And then the average male is going to have 12 palms of carbs per day. So is anybody good at math? What's that?
180.
Yeah.
Is that right? 180. Okay, yeah, you're right. 180. So 180 grams of carbs per day and 12 palms per day of carbs for the average man. Now, an active female, someone who works out every day hardcore, is going to be more. So the active female, 12 palms of carbs per day. The active male, 14 palms. So 14 palms. And then if you have a sedentary female, someone who maybe either they're sick or just is not active, sits a lot, they need at least 8 palms of carbs per day. And the sedentary male is 10 palms of carbs per day. So what we're going to do now is you guys, let me give you this. So I've got pens for everyone. And I'm going to give you guys the pens. All right, and let me I'll show you first and then I'll show you. So what I want y'all to do is under daily carbs, go ahead and cross out allowance because it's not that I'm allowing you. So your daily carb under choices, put how many palms you are, personal to you. And then under grams, write what that grams are. Okay? So let me show you guys. And under daily carb, we scratch out allowance, and we're going to put whatever is specific to you. For me, it was 10 palms, and for me, it was 100. That equals 150 grams. Okay. All right. So that is carbs. Now we're going to talk about our proteins. All right. The average female should get 5 palms. Let me grab a chicken. 5 palms of protein per day. That is 1 palm is 20 grams of protein. Okay, so 5 palms, 20 grams. You're talking about 100 grams of protein for the average female. The average, and so you can go ahead and write. Here's what I'm gonna have you do. Make a line all the way down here in the center, like right there. Make a line, and you're gonna put protein and then fat. So under protein, you can put 5 palms or, you know, whatever you are. So the average male, 6 palms of protein per day. The active female, 6 palms of protein per day. The active male, 7. And then a sedentary female, 4 palms. Sedentary male, 5 palms. So let me show you guys what I showed them. You're gonna have everybody make a line right here, and they're gonna put 5, whatever their number is. So that for me, it's 5 palms and 100 grams of protein. All right, and then next up, any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Next up is our our fats. Next is fats, and so fats is going to get even smaller because we don't want to have palms of fats all day. So now we're going to pull out our thumbs, and the average female should get at least 3 thumbs. Now,
You got a big thumb.
thumbs are pretty different on every person. For me, I feel like my thumb is pretty small. Let me show you what Jenny taught us. So this is sticks of little slices of butter. 3 slices of butter. Let me show you guys. 3 slices of butter is about 15 grams of fat. So that's about equal to a thumb. Okay, so 1 thumb of fat is 15 grams of fat. All right, and you can have, if you can have 3, then you're talking about 45 grams of fat for the average woman. You can really go between 3, 4, 4.5, truthfully, but that's just a good gauge. Okay, and then the male, the average male, 4 thumbs of fat per day. Active female, CrossFit girl, she's gonna have 4, maybe even 4 to 5, depending on how small your thumb is. 4 to 5 thumbs per day. The active male, 5 thumbs per day. And then I didn't get the sedentary one, but you can kind of guess from there. Yeah, so that's why we added in. So the add-on, I told y'all I would tell you about the add-on products. I paid an extra $60 for the add-on products because that included avocados, olive oil, almonds, cheese. It kind of added in some of these good fats. It also added in some of these other ones over here, just the chips and salsa, things like that, things that people really tend to eat a lot. We just want to kind of help them understand their food. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is you're going to have plates. Now, when you're doing a nutrition workshop, first of all, you want it to be plastic because it'll break as you transport from home to home. But don't use paper plates. We really want it to look, do this with excellence. So you're gonna get 5 plates, and we're gonna spread out what I just taught you, how much you're supposed to have in the whole day. We're gonna spread it out into 5 plates. Okay, so if y'all don't mind just setting this on top here. All right, so let's go ahead, and this is where it gets really interactive. I want everyone to create a plate based off of those numbers. So what we're all gonna do together, we're gonna talk about the average woman. So the average woman gets 10 palms or 10 servings of carbs. So let's all get 2 servings per plate because 10 divided by 5 plates is gonna be, and you can even try to create an actual meal if you like.
Okay, so 2
carbs per plate.
2 carbs.
2 carbs, sorry, this goes over here.
2 carbs.
Maybe 1 butter per plate. So.
And then, yeah, keep in mind we're doing the average woman, so let's give her 3 thumbs of fat. So you want to kind of spread that out.
Well, that needs to be more.
So 2 carbs.
There you go.
Give me a
Why don't we
protein.
go ahead and
Then we have
do this
protein.
for our protein since we're making a sandwich.
Okay.
And then let's do cheese for our fat. That since we're making a sandwich.
Okay.
So 1.
And then we can add. We've got our freebies here, and Rob, will you come close on our sandwich?
I have a dog. A big dog.
So we're gonna make, look, we've got our 2 carbs, or 2 pieces of bread. Our protein is our lunch meat, our fat is our cheese, and then mustard and lettuce are freebies. So you can put some lettuce and mustard on there.
Don't eat that.
Dude, that looks amazing.
It's a good looking sandwich.
Okay, so 2 carbs and a protein.
And we have some, no, we got a fat on this.
Nope.
So yeah, that sandwich is all you can eat.
But it's a snack. It's a snack.
There you go, it's a snack.
Okay, so breakfast. Here, throw me those carbs back.
Beans and eggs.
Beans and eggs. Oh,
Breakfast of champions.
here we go. 2 carbs.
Wait, you've got 2 proteins on
Yeah,
here.
that's
Oh,
right.
okay. So no meat. No meat for breakfast.
Eggs, milk, and cookie.
Green eggs and ham.
So we've got 2 carbs. Do we have any fat, or we don't have to have fat on that one? Do we have 3 servings
No.
of fat on our 5 plates?
We don't.
Oh, well.
You know you're gonna have some butter with this.
There you go.
Salmon. We'll throw
Oh.
some
Olive oil.
olive
Would
oil.
you cook it?
Yeah.
Cook it in
olive
olive oil.
Good job.
Okay. We got fat. What will we have fat with that?
That's it.
Almonds.
Only 3 servings a day.
Almonds.
Almonds. There you go.
And then let's see this plate.
That's good
So
looking
eggs,
plate.
almonds, and a cookie.
So let's actually not do these because these are going to be our.
There are extras.
Okay.
I'm hungry.
Okay,
Ozzy's
so that's
hungry.
good. So she's hungry, she said. So she threw some freebies on here, and then you can even throw some maybe you're not full enough with your sandwich, you can throw some cauliflower on that. Okay, so those freebies are great.
Oh, cream cheese. Oh, she got some
Okay.
fat on there.
Perfect.
All right, so
All
here.
right, does that help you understand how to make your plate?
Here, let's set our plates up.
You gotta take this to Santa.
Santa. Don't say that.
All right, Allie, you want to tell them what the 2 carbs, the protein, and the fat are?
Oh my gosh, it's like a test.
You screw it up.
2 carbs, protein, butter is the fats. Protein, 2 carbs, and your fats, which is oil. Alicia was really hungry, so she got 2 carbs, her cream cheese on her mashed potatoes. So carbs, fat, protein, and then she was super hungry, so she threw in some extra. Carbs, protein, no wait.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then fats,
And actually, you can have 2 of the small cookies.
2
That's
small,
1 serving.
2 small cookies. And then just your sandwich. Well, this is good. Mustard, lettuce. So you got carbs, protein, fat,
Freebie.
freebies, and freebie.
Nice.
So you,
Excellent.
so you can eat this all day.
And then, okay, so what about, is there a place where we could remove some, if someone was wanting to have extra fats, is there a place where we could put salsa in place of a fatty dressing?
Throw it over some salmon.
Salsa on salmon. Some people might like it. So you could replace salmon
We're Texan.
for
We're
oil.
Texan.
But you do want to have at least 3 fats. Okay, so excellent. Good job, you guys.
That was scary. The test.
No, that's good. So do y'all see how that's really going to help your customers be like, wow, I've been doing it so wrong all this time. I've been doing pretty much carbs.
Here's what's something exciting I'm just going to throw in
Yeah.
just as a customer. If I had eaten good all day and take out this carb and throw in this brownie, this is my small last meal, I get a brownie.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, keep in mind, nutrition content doesn't necessarily mean it's the same when you switch from a fruit to a brownie. Those are both carbs. It doesn't mean they're both nutritious in the same nutrition value. But you're right. I mean, it's as far as calories are concerned, it's equal. Now, I know. Now, here's the deal. This is a lot of food, and the average woman, I'll tell you, for me, I've been trying to do this to meet my quota, and it is difficult to get that much protein in, especially the protein. That's what really gets me. And so I will tell you, OMG, y'all, this is so good. The new ready to drink, it is absolutely delicious, goes down smooth, it's so easy to drink, and so you could switch this out, and it does have 11 grams of carbs, so it has almost a serving of carbs, but it's got 20 grams of protein, so this is going to be a great replacement. Let's say my stomach just can't do some heavy salmon right now, so I'm going to add in that drink. It's a really great way, or if you're just on the go and you don't have time to prepare a meal like this, that is a great replacement. Another thing, maybe for breakfast, if you're someone who has a really hard time getting a good healthy breakfast in, especially a good balanced breakfast like this, I highly recommend our meal replacement shakes because it has 24 grams of protein and Where's our carbohydrates?
24.
24 grams of carbohydrates, a perfect balance of proteins to carbohydrates. So that's going to be a great meal. So Rob, will you bring that down with me? So this could replace this plus a carbohydrate. All right, so that's a really great replacement right there, and that's why it's a meal replacement shake. Okay, so that's where you're gonna weave in. Now, these are the products I've weaved in because I feel like they just very greatly go with it. But if you are passionate about a certain product, you can definitely find your own creative way to weave it in and talk about it. All right, so now let's talk about losing weight. If you are someone who you would like to lose weight, what we're gonna do is we're going to remove 2 carbs from our 10 servings of carbs, all right? Now, you're going to want to kind of spread it out, okay? We don't want to remove 2 carbs from one meal. That we want to spread it out slowly, okay? So let's say from here, we're going to take off 2 of these cookies, and we're going to take off these raisins. By the way, raisins are shrunken grapes, so you can't eat a huge serving of raisins. You have to consider what they were when they were grapes. So we're going to take off 2 carbs, and instead, so here's the deal. You're going to do that every day until you reach your goal weight. Now, here's what's going to happen. When we take away carbs, what our body does, you would think that it would just naturally be like, okay, let's go after that stored energy. Unfortunately, what our body does is it doesn't always go straight for, actually it mostly does not go straight for the stored energy in our fat. It goes for our muscle. That we do not want. We've got to hold on to our muscle. And so if you're going to be removing carbs from your diet, you've got to get on Catalyst. Catalyst is an amazing product. I've been taking this for years. What it's going to do is it's going to feed your muscle, preserve your muscle, so that when you remove carbs from your diet, it goes straight for the stored energy. It goes straight for that fat. All right? So people are going to leave and be like, where's that Catalyst again? They're going to want Catalyst. Okay. All right, we talked about losing fat. All right, so that is the bulk of the nutrition workshop. Oh, and I do want to, what I would add in is, you know, if you are someone who is removing carbs from your diet, you're going to find yourself being hungry. And so that's why I highly recommend, you can either talk about Slim here, or you can talk about one of our appetite suppressants. I would talk about M&S. Highly recommend M&S. This is really going to fill in those nutritional gaps in our diet, but also it's going to be an appetite suppressant. I'd probably hold up M&SC. It's going to really help suppress your appetite. You're going to feel satisfied and not hungry. And it's going to, I like the way Jenny said it. She said it's going to keep you from the pantry grabbing hands. So you're going to talk about that. Now to close down, you're going to say, so we have talked a lot about some of these Advocare products. If something that we talked about today is something you're like, hey man, I would really love to get started, sign me up for that Catalyst. Or maybe you would like to not only just have a 1-a-day vitamin, maybe that's what you're taking, but this is going to be power-packed nutrition. You know, you're just going to kind of talk through, and you're going to say, what I want you to do, just based on what I've talked to you about, if you will write down right here, you're going to write in this square that's left, supplements. And what I want you to do is I want you to write down just one or two of those products that we talked about today that you're like, man, I'd really love to get started on that right away. Maybe you're just loving this spark right now. Write that down, and later after we close out, I can show you how to order that and make sure you get started on it. In fact, I could even show you, I know, and it's good if you have like people of discount levels as well as prospects in the room, because you can say, you know, I know some of you have a 20% discount. In fact, I know you have a 40% discount on your product, so we can show you how you can get a discount if that's something that you'd like to do. And then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to pass out product catalogs to everyone. I only have a few, so you guys share that one. Okay. And so I'm going to grab the product catalog and I'll say, you know, maybe some of these products that I shared with you is not really like the right fit for you, or maybe you're someone who isn't wanting to lose weight, but you're actually wanting to gain weight. So let me just real quickly show you. And so you're going to go through the product catalog in 30 to 60 seconds. Because you've already taken up a lot of their time. We're not going to spend the next half hour on this. You know, they're getting antsy. So you're just going to really quickly go through this, and you can have it pre-tabbed on your catalog. we're going to talk about Charlie Regis, just very briefly say Charlie Regis is the man who founded our company, and he founded it on these 10 guiding principles. Number 1 being honor God through our faith, family, and friends. That was something that really drew us to AdvoCare. And the next page is our doctors who formulate our products, and you know, just 1 or 2 sentences about our doctors. And then we're going to go through each line. Now we have 5 lines, so I haven't seen the new catalog yet, but I'm sure it has all 5 lines. You're literally going to say 1 to 2 sentences about each line, and then you're going to say, you know, if one of those products looks like something you'd be interested in, just get with me and I can show you how you can order those products. But finally, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to pass out, I just have blank pieces of paper, but Jenny has an actual card that has a box on it, and it's called the to-go box. And so you're going to pass one of those out to everyone. You're going to say, so this is our to-go box. And so if there's something that you just still have questions about, whether it's about the products, or maybe you're thinking, you know what, I am a kind of a teacher and I would love to teach these nutrition workshops. Or maybe you're thinking, you know, I'd love to actually earn some extra income, and you're interested in how to sell these products. Just jot it down. Now here's what Jenny told us to say. I love this and I'm so going to use it. So I am actually teaching these nutrition workshops. I'm booked up like crazy, so I've got a lot going on. I will try to get to you in the next week or 2. So please just jot that down. I will try my hardest to get to you as soon as I can. And I just love that because it's not them, it's them chasing us. It's not us being like, I'll call you tomorrow. It'll be 3 a.m. You know, it's showing, hey, we're busy, we're doing this, we're really impacting a lot of people's lives, and I'm going to get to you as soon as I can. But Charlie Regis used to always say, make sure the car's always running. And I think that's what he meant. Like, I'm moving, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. You're important to me. But so that's what you're going to close out with is have them jot that down and put down your number and whatever your question is, and then I'm going to take those up. And then you're just going to thank them for coming, and you can stay late for questions and dismiss anybody who needs to go right away. You can help them order products. You can just let the conversations keep going, and hopefully you'll end up getting some new preferred customers. And that's the other thing. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to tell y'all this part. This is important. Okay, so I have nickels for y'all. And did I already give you a pen?
Yes.
Okay, let me give each one of you a nickel. I'm sorry I'm having to back up. I know that drives me crazy when you're learning and you have to back up. After, let's see, at what point do we do this? We're going to do this after we've done all the plating and after we've taught them how many palms of everything is. We're going to, and after they've written in what their stuff is right here, you're going to take that nickel and you're going to pass out nickels to everyone because they're going to draw a circle on each one of these areas right here. So we've got breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. And if you want, and then yeah, go ahead and do 6 and then do a circle for the total too. And then it'll take a little bit of time.
Oh, I messed it up.
Didn't realize how hard tracing the nickel was.
And then go ahead and do the total as well. And then what I'm going to have them do is put a dot in the center of the circle and then make a little peace sign like this. So make a dot in the circle and make a peace sign because what you're doing is you're creating your plate. And you guys can draw this on your
Mercedes
notes. Rob says it's a Mercedes sign. You can draw this on your notes and remember this for when your kit comes in.
It's the flux vortex.
If you're someone who's wanting to continue doing this.
Capacitor, yeah. That's what it is.
All right, so what you've done now is you've got your plate in thirds, and so on outside of this, you're going to put a C for carbs, a P for protein, an F for fats, and do that all the way throughout. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to put a C for carbs outside this area, a P for protein, and an F for fats. And then we're going to take, because remember this is what we've got at the top. Now we're going to evenly spread it out throughout the day. I personally ended up doing 5 because 5 just divided in really nicely. So I did 5 plates with 2 carbs in each one, 1 protein in each one, and then I did 3 fats. So these got 0 fats, and then I just kind of canceled that out. And then you're going to total out over here. So based on what y'all have at the top, you need to divide it by, I divided it by 5, because for me, eating 5 times a day just makes more sense. You can divide it by 5 or divide it by 6, and then evenly space it out.
What's 5 divided by 120?
Well, don't worry about do servings. Don't worry about the grams.
Okay.
Do the servings.
Okay.
And you guys do it as well. Think about which one of those you are and divide your servings by your plates for the day. And you're gonna just sit here and give them time to do that and help them, plan their plates for their day. And actually, what's a great thing to do is think about what day tomorrow is, because this has Sunday through Saturday. And so if today, like for me today is Tuesday, so have them do Wednesday. So if you've got 14, you need to divide 14 by 6. Yeah. Do you get it?
No.
Okay, so I'll show you with me.
Okay.
So I get 10 servings of carbs
Okay.
in one day. So
Okay.
I divided 10 by 5 because I chose to just do 5.
Okay.
And then that means I get 2 carbs at each plate,
Okay.
just like what we did here.
Okay. 2 carbs. Okay, I'm so sorry.
And then same with proteins. I get 5 servings of protein, so I get 1 protein in each plate.
This is why you want to workshop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this
I
is
know.
the workshop part of it, because there's always going to be like, what are you talking about?
I'm just copying Liz.
That's fine.
And then my protein is, mine was 120.
So then you probably need to have 6 meals, or at least a snack that has some protein in it.
Okay.
A 6th snack.
But it would be 6 times. No,
Yeah, you need 6 servings of protein.
6 servings.
Okay, so then what we're gonna do is realistically, what time, and no judgment here if you wake up late, what time do you wake up and what time will you realistically eat? So put that first meal, what time you're gonna eat, and then realistically, what time do you think you'll eat that second meal? And let me show you guys. So up here at the top, I'm gonna have them write what time they wake up and what time they'll realistically eat. So me, I wake up in 6-ish, 6:30. I'll realistically eat at 7, because I don't eat the very moment I wake up, but I wanna eat within the first hour. And then my snack, I said 9 o'clock, and then I'll eat lunch at 12. I have a 3 o'clock snack, and then dinner at 6. And so you'll just have them kind of plan out their day, and then you're gonna the way I'm gonna close this is I have decided every time I have a nutrition workshop, I'm also gonna plan the very next week to have a mixer, because that's just gonna beautifully blend. And so for me, now that I know that I'm doing nutrition workshops, a mixer is just a mini business opportunity meeting. So yes, I'm still gonna cover the 24-day challenge. Yes, I'm still gonna go over products, but I probably won't spend as much time, because especially if I've got a whole group full of people that I just spent a whole hour talking about food and the products with. So I'll probably have some more stories in the room over products than anything, and then I'll spend more time on the business. So what I'm gonna do, for instance, this week, Thursday night, I'm having a nutrition workshop right here for my prospects. And I've already scheduled next Tuesday, I'm gonna have a mixer here. And so I'm gonna close this out by saying, if you're someone who you're really interested in hearing more about Advocare, and you'd love to hear about how you can earn extra income, really just by helping people do exactly what I'm doing, come to my mixer next Thursday or next Tuesday. And so I just think that's a really great way. Or just know what the next event is, and close out by sharing the next event. So, any questions? Anything that I haven't covered? All right, you guys, that's it. Really, if you have questions, I think I've covered just about everything. And if you're not feeling completely confident, I can add you. If you purchase a box, anyone who purchases a box can be added to the Facebook group, but you must have a box purchased in order to be added to the Facebook group. It's actually by Jenny Donnelly herself. She's got lots and lots of videos on the supplies you purchase, on just more details on this training that I just gave you, and so I can add you to that group. So,
and tell everyone that this is recorded and will be on
yes, this
YouTube.
is being recorded, and so I will give this to you guys upon request, or anyone who may have missed it. So, all right, you guys. Well, thanks for hanging with me. I hope this has really inspired you. Let's start getting after this. Let's get a whole bunch of nutrition workshops, and let's start changing this nation one nutrition workshop and one Advocare product at a time.